Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. We are here today with Alan Woody Reeves with Cheryl. Now, let me see if I get this right. Philamali. Is that right?
That's it.
Oh, I did it. Score. All right. And we got David White. So how is everyone today?
Marvelous, man. How are you, Scott? Thank you for having me.
I am doing great. I'm doing great. So I hear we are here to talk about ShieldIQ.
Correct.
I am very intrigued and interested in this new product. So, Alan, what can you tell me about it?
Well, as you know, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has. It has. But the best things come to those who wait, right?
Hopefully, yeah. There's been waiting, and there's been other elements too, without question. So I'll go ahead and, like I mentioned, we're going to have just a back and forth casual Q&A like it's a talk show. But I'll go ahead and put up the slide deck we have as sort of a background, provide context, et cetera, because ShieldIQ is the culmination of almost 3 years of work, and we're going to be going live on Monday with the first iteration or the first generation, so to speak. And yeah, we're profoundly excited, and it's like I said, it's been a while. So let me go ahead and bring this up and make sure that you can see what we got here.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So basically what we had, Scott, was a scenario right around 2016 or so. You know, we had a large chiropractor client for our MSP, and we had their network locked down. We were very, very happy. We very rarely got a call. The firewall was solid. We had, you know, Datto in there. Everything just hummed along. And they were a larger than normal chiropractor. They're about 24, 25 employees.
Okay.
Did a real good business, do a real good business still. And one day the owner woke up and there were tens of thousands of dollars missing out of his bank account.
Oh, wow.
And cut to the chase, someone had hacked his Hotmail account, which, you know, we're not hosting that. We're not protecting that. This is a Hotmail account.
Probably a personal account.
Yeah. And this doctor was savvy enough to not conduct any of his, you know, real, you know, patient interaction through his Hotmail address.
Sure.
But he did use it to interact with other business associates, including his banker, including his financial advisor, and others. Somebody hacked that account and lurked in there like they do in Office 365 tenancy for weeks, or if not longer, figured out who was who in this guy's life and tricked someone into wiring about $80,000 of the practice's money to an overseas bank. And the doc came to us and he wasn't mad, but he was close. He was edgy. And he was trying to work this out in his head. He's like, you know, you guys are my technology provider. You provide my cybersecurity. You do all these things, but how'd this happen? And I'm like, you know, that was just something that we weren't covering and we can't cover. And I said, you know, to my knowledge, there's no IT company that can put any sort of protective layer on you that way. And he said, well, there ought to be. And I'm like, you know what? He's not wrong.
Right.
And so that kind of sat there, you know, as something that wasn't really our fault. Wasn't our fault, but it bothered me.
Sure.
And so it was just spinning around back there. And around that same time, probably within 6 weeks, we started getting referrals, and they really came out of nowhere.
Okay.
We started getting unrelated referrals from local banks and credit unions. And there was no rhyme or reason to it. It wasn't a chain of banks. It wasn't that we knew somebody that worked at a bank. It might be the SunTrust branch down in Brentwood, Tennessee. It might be a U.S. bank in Green Hills. You know, we just couldn't. Where did that go? Anyway, we couldn't wrap our head around this. But long story short, what we noticed is these people, these bankers, were encountering people that had been breached or hacked, and they were shutting down their online banking until they could get their technology looked at, until they could make sure that their computer was clean, until they could make sure that their phones was clean. And, you know, mouse calls is sort of an anomaly still to this day. We are a traditional MSP on the smaller side, but we also have literally hundreds of consumers on MSP style plans.
Okay.
And we still do break fix work as a lead gen to get people into service agreements. So they were looking for, you know, they were looking for a professional IT company that would service consumers, and they'd send them our way. And we would look at their computers, clean them up if need be. Half the time it was nothing. They, you know, half the time it was, maybe they let somebody into the system. And again, we found ourselves having no answer. And I think it was Cheryl that said something like, we need to have like an antivirus for people.
Yeah.
Because that's a part of the stack that we don't have. And then really the big kicker was in 2018. The thing that really got me going here is we had a flower shop that we did a little bit of support for. Their website got hacked. It was an old website, but the hackers were able to get credit card information out of the online order database. And that flower shop came in to work one Monday morning, and they were told by their merchant provider, you cannot run credit cards on the terminals. You cannot run them on your website. You cannot do anything credit card related until you fix X, Y, Z.
Right.
Well, and this particular company, they have a pretty big online presence where people go onto their website, place orders for delivery for flowers, you know, and they weren't able to perform business that way.
They were, cash sales were 3 or 4% of their revenue.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so they had to get this fixed. And he specifically asked, like, you know, obviously need a new website, want to get a firewall, want to get these things, but how do we protect me and my staff? And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be a way. So we went forward, and as you can see, I have this titled Fish Sauce and Liver. We started reaching out to large companies, and I'm not gonna say their names. We're all familiar with them. You can say their names, but there's a lot of companies out there in the identity theft protection space,
like LifeLock.
There you go. And they're consumer direct.
Mm-hmm.
So we started trying to see, okay, well, what kind of relationship can we have with these companies? Do they have a reseller program? Do they have something we can co-brand? What do they have? And it was awful, because I'm huge on adding value to my brand.
Sure.
I'm huge on working with, vendor relationship, very relationship driven. And we found across the board, we did not find one company that had a recurring commission or recurring spiff at all. The best thing that we found were a couple of companies where if you had a client that bought an annual package, they would cut you a $35 check through an affiliate network or after the fact. And if that client renewed, you got nothing. It's
a one-time payment.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and see you later. So, again, we were just left out of the equation. That doesn't work. That's not what I'm used to in the IT space. And they had, these companies have no loyalty to us. They have no fealty to us. They have no interest in improving our lot in life or securing our client base. They just want those subscriptions. Another piece of this was it had occurred to me, how cool would it be for us to be able to bundle protection for our clients into their IT service offerings?
Yeah.
So for example, if I have a 30-seat prospect, I can go to them and say, look, we're going to cover we're going to cover all 30 of your employees with a basic plan that has $1 million in identity theft protection, but we're going to give you the ownership, full like 3 bureau credit monitoring and the full Monty. That's a differentiator. That's nice.
That is.
But all, you know, everything that's out there is consumer direct. So there was no way to do that. Not in a practical way. And then most of these services are not serviced at the standards that an IT company provides. And by that, what I mean is, if you get an alert and you call them, they're going to tell you, yes, you got an alert. And no, the reps can't see any personal data, nor should they. And that's fine. But that's the extent to which they take it. There's no hand holding. There's no, oh, you think this happened as part of a technology issue? Well, I have help for that. You know, it just stops. It just stops right there. So not that I try to create extra work, but that didn't seem to be a solution that was at our standard. And I know, you know, a lot of the standards that other IT companies want to hold on to. And then the other part of this is we found that many of them had infrastructure and personnel outside of the United States. A couple of the names surprised me. And from a HIPAA compliance standpoint, that was a non-starter. Because how can I bundle anything that, you know, has any data like that, especially data of this kind overseas? So through some persistence and luck, we built it. I'm going to speed this up and hit some high points. I ended up finding the right people. I got a referral through LinkedIn, and found a company that builds these type of solutions for enterprises. And my first thought, Scott, honestly, was like, well, they're not going to give me the time of day. You know, I had an idea. I could kind of get an idea by looking through some back channels who maybe they had done some work for. But I thought, you know, all they can do is say no. So I reached out. I basically said, you know, my name is Alan Woody Reeves. I'm based in Nashville, Tennessee. You don't know me from Adam. I don't have a company you would recognize, but I have a business case that I would like to explore with you. And to my very pleasant surprise, they saw something in it. Well, maybe there is something here. So the dev team with this organization are former Department of Defense contractors, and there's at least one of them that has invented some proprietary encryption, and they're just solid. And the footprint of similar technology they've developed is covering 1.5 million people. So this is not, I mean, this is not something that was put together in a garage, is my point. We started going back and forth about what this would look like. And one thing that they wanted us to do was roll this out for our client base. You know, build a proof of concept. What's the uptake going to be? I'm losing my voice.
You are.
So in a second, you'll see that we did exactly that. When we rolled it out, we took a section of, what was it, 100?
Yes.
We just picked 100 consumer clients that we had worked with and offered them the service. And over 50% signed up, which was way beyond the threshold of acceptance that I think our dev partner was looking for. And a lot of those that did not sign up said, well, I've already got a subscription to something, but when it runs out, I'd love to jump on yours. Right. So in reality, there was more than that, because we have this incredible trust relationship that's been built up over 20 years. And so we thought, okay, we've got something here. we've got something that's a good revenue stream. And, you know, so a little aside on the security thing, every bit of the infrastructure, every developer, all that, none of it's outsourced. Every bit of it is in the continental 48.
Well, let me ask you a quick question. So would you say with those other customers that would put your acceptance rate at like 75%?
You know, I don't think we measured the people that said that, but if I had to best guess it, it was very close.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are great numbers.
It was very close.
That says a lot for the product.
So anyway, this is just a screen capture, and I've showed you this before, but this is what we did for the Mouse Calls client base. It's called Cyberwatch. And we built a website around it. It's at cyberwatch.tech, and you could go in there and subscribe to a plan or do whatever. And that's what people did. That site's still up. But the kicker is we can't build Cyberwatch for everyone, because now I understood the potential. I understood what we could possibly do and bring this to other IT companies, because we knew that they needed it. We knew that especially the repair shops, the small MSPs, the MSPs that choose to still service consumers because they, you know, that maybe they have them on a plane. Those guys, and there's hundreds of them, you know, they wanted something that has this strength, but this offering, this part of the stack that has a recurring revenue base. But again, we can't do this. You can't do it for everybody, because when you engage with a single company, the minimums for this kind of stuff, and trust me when I say this, they're in the thousands per month. It's interesting. If I were to get an ITBOG partner interested, but excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm going to find a cough drop.
Well, we keep it real here today.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do.
Well, Alan, let me pause and give you a minute to get yourself situated. Eric Nanaka has a great question on the live stream, and I wanted to ask you this, and maybe perhaps you can lead into it as well.
Yeah, sure.
What is the difference between ShieldIQ and Legal Shield? Legal Shield does business ID monitoring and credit monitoring. Do you want to answer that?
Well, I want to make sure I understand the question. Thank you. He's saying business credit monitoring and business monitoring?
Yeah, so I'll read it one more time. What is the difference between ShieldIQ and Legal Shield? Legal Shield does business ID monitoring and credit monitoring. Gotcha.
Well, if I understand the question properly, ShieldIQ is not a business monitoring product. You know, we have some other companies in the channel that will do dark web monitoring on the domain level and on the business level, and they do a great job.
Sure.
What ShieldIQ does is it's a personal product that you would subscribe to, like and Scott, you said the name a little bit ago. There's probably a 6 to 12 out there, major players in that space, if that.
Like LifeLock.
That's the big one everybody knows, but it's tied to a person. The subscription is tied to an individual and not a business.
Okay.
So what we wanted to do is give IT partners a way to give people that personal protection, but also to have a stake in the game, to have recurring revenue, to have a partner that not only could provide that for you, but at a higher level, and this is coming, by the way, down the road in Q1, late Q1 or Q2, we'll be able to provide a reseller option. We're going to keep this real simple, though, right now, to show you what we've got or what we're going out of the gate with. And with ShieldIQ, you know, if we were to go to Eric, and our business offering was, hey, Eric, we're going to build you a website based around your company and we're going to give it this name. And by the way, we're going to charge you $1,500 to do a website around it, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, your entry point with us is going to be about $3,000 to get started. We could do that, but we would also be excluding a lot of folks that really just wanted to offer the service and make money on it.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Sure. Sure.
All right. So Scott, you kind of put this in my head a few months ago, and it was really, really strong because, you know, I hadn't considered it, and I should have, but it was a missing piece. And that was, well, you know, maybe you got a high volume computer repair shop and they've got a good reputation in their town, and it's Joe's Computer Repair. But, and maybe they've got, you know, 4.8 stars on Google. Maybe they're great. But if you roll out Joe's Computer Repair identity theft monitoring, a lot of people aren't going to take that seriously, because they're going to, well, you know, do I go with Joe or do I go with LifeLock? Because, you know, where's Joe's stuff?
Right.
Like, how is he doing that? And that's no offense to Joe, but it's a perception issue. So, well, you know, the answer, after I kind of noodled on that for a couple of days after you mentioned that, and you were absolutely right. And, you know, I thought it just hit me one day, a couple of days, and it was, we take what we have and we build a national brand. We build a national brand that IT companies can be a part of. And then how do we do that? So I'll show you. Let me stop sharing and I'll bring up the video. And some folks may have seen this already, and that's okay. All right, can you see me here?
Yep.
Okay.
ShieldIQ is a brand new way for IT pros and MSPs to protect their customers and generate recurring revenue, all with a low cost of entry. Everyone knows that you can protect your clients' computers, but what about their people? Maybe you have recommended a major identity theft protection solution to them before, but did that company help you? Did they provide a way for you to make recurring revenue on the subscription you recommended? ShieldIQ was built by IT pros for IT pros. ShieldIQ is the only identity theft solution that provides a recurring revenue stream for its affiliates. Not only that, it's 100% made in the USA, a woman-owned business, and they donate a percentage of monthly profits to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They have created a technology partner network, so it's also a lead generator. There's also a low cost of entry. Above all, you own your client base, and ShieldIQ will never promote their own products or other services to your customers. Check out ShieldIQ today. 844-484-0422. Visit us at ShieldIQ.com.
Now, that's meant for this audience. Here's the quick high-level overview of what this can bring to the table. Right now, as you can see at ShieldIQ.com, we have a landing page. But when the actual page launches, it's consumer direct. So this video is going to be on every page. This is the messaging for the end users that are looking at subscribing to ShieldIQ. Why should they pick ShieldIQ? Let's play that.
Your family's security is so important, and cyber threats facing all of us are almost overwhelming. I don't know about you, but I'm not about to trust a piece of antivirus software you buy at a big box store with my personal data security. If there's a problem, sometimes you just need a human being to talk to. When I found out about ShieldIQ, I subscribed immediately. ShieldIQ is a service-oriented company. It was founded by the owner of a technology firm who was looking for better ways to protect his clients, who were constantly getting hacked. It's 100% USA-based, was built by experts that developed security applications for the Department of Defense, and it is the only identity protection company with a technology partner network. This network is a vetted group of professional IT service providers, all based in the United States, who have teamed with ShieldIQ to assist if your computers or network are hacked or breached. Not only that, ShieldIQ donates a percentage of sales each month to St. Jude Children's Hospital. If I suffer a financial loss as a result of identity theft, ShieldIQ's recovery concierge service even holds my hand through the process, and I get an ID recovery kit. I even get notified if a registered sex offender moves near my home. It's great knowing there are real people that I can call. Got questions? Just ask. Better yet, click Plan in the menu above and start your protection with ShieldIQ right now. You can also search our technology partner network to purchase from someone local to you. Protect your family with ShieldIQ.
So now you have a differentiation. You have, okay, here's the value proposition for the IT pro. Here's what the end user is going to be shown. Here's why ShieldIQ is different than the other major players. And basically the messaging is, we know as IT pros, or we know as ShieldIQ, that just buying a subscription to something is not going to be the answer if and when you actually do have an incident. You know, so one thing that we did with ShieldIQ is we built a 24/7 call center with intake agents. If a person gets an alert that they don't understand, they can call 24/7. The intake agent will take their information, and then a ticket is created. A case manager gives them a call and then can either recommend what they do next. Obviously, again, we're kind of limited because this is not help desk service.
Sure.
An identity theft rep has no business remoting into anybody's computer ever, but we can refer you also to someone in our technology partner network, which can lead to more business for our members. Now, I'll go back to the presentation.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
And I don't want to derail you, but Eric also asked, can we sell this outside the US?
I wish.
Okay. So that answer is no.
That answer is no.
Okay.
That answer is no. In fact, if you've got a non-US based IP address, you can't even log into the system.
Okay.
Anyway, this is a screenshot of what the homepage will end up looking like, or very close to it. We're doing some people may notice that there's slight variation in our logo. This is the earlier version. We've tweaked that out a little bit. And how we're better: affiliate program, additional services, plan, pricing, fax, contact, and tech partner network. Obviously, we're going to be adding more as time goes by, but I did want to show you this. This is the prototype of what the tech partner network will look like. Now, obviously, there's 3 members right now. There's Sean McCormick with Magnify 24/7 in Tipton, Indiana. There's Link It with Nathan Neal, Pennsylvania. And there's my company, Mouse Calls. The goal here is to do exactly this: build a network of technology providers. And also, we're going to be spending money independently of what we're doing with IT pros to market this, to do digital marketing of the site itself and get a footprint out there. So if you're an IT company, being listed as a technology partner of ShieldIQ would be, obviously advantageous, because not only can you distribute the product to your customers, but local people may find you this way. And if we have someone that's if we have, an end user that has just subscribed independently of any IT company and they have a problem, we're going to refer them to the closest technology partner near them.
So will you be able to lock out other competition in your area? So how does that work? Like, I'm in South Carolina. Would I be able to lock out, all of the other IT pros in South Carolina? Or is this something that, anybody can latch onto?
No, there will be an add-on There will be an add-on with a cost for regional exclusivity,
Okay.
because we know there's going to be a demand there. I mean,
Okay.
that's already been expressed.
Sure.
That's already been expressed. I can tell you that the current members we have, that's something that I've guaranteed to them already.
Okay.
How that takes shape, I'm not sure. It may be a radius, but that'll be figured out in the next few days. That's being hammered out now.
I do have another quick question for you.
Sure.
So as an IT business owner, if I look at this product and say, okay, I want to start reselling the solution, and getting some more recurring and creating an additional revenue stream for my IT business, what is the extent of, do the IT companies have to support it after? Is this something else that we need to learn, or does your team, like you said, you had a call, you're creating a 24/7 call center, the phone's answered by live, technicians. So I'm assuming that by you saying that we don't really have to jump in as an IT business owner. All we really need to do is just sell it. Just push it and sell it.
That's pretty much correct. And
Okay.
I don't want to do too deep a dive in this, because I don't want to make it overly complicated, but it became very obvious to me, addressing your question, it became obvious to me some months ago that we needed to have an affiliate model for IT companies.
Sure.
And that makes, I've got a slide about it. That makes sense for the smaller companies, or the companies that, they're the repair shops, the break fix guys, the one-man shows or two-man shows, because I've been that guy. The first 5.5 years of the business, 1998 to 2003, was just me, and I know that life. I know all about it. And they don't want nor have the time or money to spin up or buy bulk licenses or do anything like that. They just want, hey, this is a way I can protect my clients better. It makes me look good, and that's it. Now, the reseller model is coming, like I said, probably late Q1 or Q2. We want to get the affiliate off the ground, get some positive cash flow going, and make our mistakes, because nobody's perfect, and I know we will. And then the reseller model that's coming is a co-brand and white label, where the IT company is actually buying the licenses from us and then selling them, either bundling them or selling them, bundling them in IT plans and so forth and so on. Also coming is downstream identity theft protection, where, Scott, if you have a client for your MSP that's like maybe a security company, or an insurance company, or a credit counseling company, or a bank, real estate agency, or any company that maybe could benefit by offering ShieldIQ or the same service with their branding on it, we're going to cut you a piece of that too. So
Nice.
There's a lot coming. There's a lot. We're keeping it very, very simple for the purposes of this, so we can get off the ground with some partners sooner rather than later. So why are you here? Mailbox money.
My favorite kind of money.
Yeah, and, a commission on. We're going to do a commission on every single subscription every month. Okay, so we're not going to be a one-time, oh, here you go, thanks, never see you again. We're doing this. We're doing this out of recognizing the need, but also recognizing the want. I don't want to deal with a company that's going to pay me one time. I want recurring. That's why we're all in the game. That's the model. So not only that, we're going to play with having, like a traditional affiliate program, a go-to-market affiliate program through various channels. I've got a couple of appointments set up with companies to talk about that, but I know where those commissions are going to be, and those commissions are pretty standard for affiliate programs. For IT companies, we're going to do double that amount, roughly double that amount. And by roughly, I mean like 90 to 100% of double commissions that normal affiliates would get, because that's the world that I've been in for 24 years. That's where I came from. That's how this got started. And I want to whet the appetite of people. I want our partners to have a good taste in their mouth about working with us. And then, our IT companies that work with us will also have the opportunity to enroll in the Technology Partner Network. Now, here on this slide, it says terms apply. We're going to do some basic checks. Are you a company? Do you have insurance? Like we're not going to make you part of our ShieldIQ Technology Partner Network if you don't have at least some proper bona fides, because that could be chaos. But going forward, I'll stop the share. I'm going to show you real quick, and Scott, you've seen this. I'm going to show everybody what the end user portal looks like. So if you will bear with me.
And by end user, you don't mean the IT shops, you mean the
Your
actual
customers.
your customer subscribing, what they will see.
Correct.
I thought that's what you meant.
Okay. So when a person logs in to ShieldIQ, this is the portal that they see.
Okay.
Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
So this is somebody that has a high level plan. Right off the bat, the amount of alerts they have are at the top. This is very, very clear. Add your personal information so we can protect you. This is where they could add the family's social security numbers, the bank accounts they want monitored, credit cards they want monitored, driver's license, medical IDs, passports, email addresses they want monitored, and phone numbers that they want monitored across the dark web. When you sign up with your street address. You have change of address monitoring as well. So I'm just going to do quick highlights here. This is my dashboard. I'll go to my welcome page. That's gonna be changed here shortly to ShieldIQ. If they go down to credit reports, they have all this information. A 3 bureau credit report broken down, and they will see that when they sign on. They can go to credit score history.
Whose report is that? Is
Right.
that your report?
Nope, that is a dummy user.
Okay. Well, that
No.
dummy user's got pretty decent credit.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad. We also have credit score simulator on a lot of these upper packages where you could, for example, play with some ideas like get a new loan. I want to get a car for $60,000. And then put these other things in, increase my limit. Like what would that do? Change my payment history, add a tax lien. And of course it's not working. Let me go to simulate score. And that will kind of tell me, what would that possibly do to my credit score from here to here. So they have that. Now this is very, very, very cool. And this is something that's part of the alerting mechanism, okay? We have a street address programmed in the system for this dummy user. And our system, one of the differentiators, and some have this, some don't, but we built this in. It queries the sex offender database, the public sex offender database. And if you have a sex offender within a 2.5 or 5 or 10 mile radius of your home address, it will pinpoint their address and identify them. There's obviously a lot here, but
Wow.
As you can see, this is really quite cool. There's a lot, and I can click on one of these.
That's scary is what it is.
It is.
I don't want to move the Turtle
No.
Creek, Pennsylvania.
No, it is scary. But if you have a client that's on the platform on ShieldIQ, if a sex offender moves within that radius, they get an alert by text and by email. So they can log in and see who that offender is and where they live. And that is a very, very nice differentiator. And just for giggles, for those of you that are considering maybe offering this as a downstream package, chambers of commerce, be nice to know that. This is where you can add family members, email breaches. This is, this is a lot more common today, but this is where you can just go in and see the email addresses you have in the system. What breaches have they been a part of? And you remember the dashboard screen where you can add up to 10 email addresses? It'll cross-reference all of them in here. If they go to my plan details, then they can see what they get: identity restoration, identity protection, alerts, change of address, dark web, risk score, sex offenders, social security number monitoring, email breach, credit reports. And again, this is the kitchen sink plan. Under the identity theft restoration, there's $1 million policy in here that is underwritten by AIG, and it is linked specifically to that person. They can print this out. There's their master policy number. So they have that. By the way, if you do have a client that is breached, we have contracted with Kroll International to help with remediation. That's what we mean as the recovery concierge. If it meets certain criteria and they've had a financial loss and they file a police report, which we walk them through the process of doing, we roll it over to Kroll and they get their hands held through the entire process.
Wow, that's excellent. Yeah. So the MSP or the IT business owner doesn't have to deal with that. Maybe the initial call.
Exactly. And there's a lot of MSPs out there that don't want to deal with consumers at all. And that's fine. That not a problem. We'll take care of it. So that gives you an idea of what that looks like. And now this is what we're looking at for early access pricing. And again, there is more coming very, very soon. Now, if you can see it okay, we have two offerings that we're looking at doing right out of the gate. One of them has a $99 one-time setup fee. That's it. And then after that, there's a $99 annual renewal fee. Not monthly, annual. And this is meant to give guys who just want to offer the service, guys and gals who want to offer the service, a very clear path to just being able to do exactly that. Hey, I just want to have this to offer to my clients, and I'll promote it, or I'll do whatever, but I want to be able to do this for them. That's it. So what that gets you is we create the unique installer links. We do the custom coding for the installer links that are hard coded to your company. And then you also get a landing page that is co-branded with your logo, the ShieldIQ logo, and the sign up links for the plans that will show, what each plan includes. The plans, the consumer plans range from $9 to $34 a month. Okay. So your landing page will have those. Now, if you want to really go great guns with us, then what we're going to do is a $299 one-time setup fee. And then your annual fee is $149.
Okay.
You get all of the above, but you also get a press release. Now, this is not one of those Fiverr or freelancer press release jobs where they send it out to all kinds of syndicated networks. We're going to drop some cash, and we are going to take your area and pull the local TV and radio stations and the local newspapers, every bit of local media, including the alternative newspapers and everything else from your local area. And we have a custom written press release by an Associated Press writer ready to go. That will be emailed to all those entities with links to your website, links to your new landing page if you want, but it announces your company's partnership with ShieldIQ to better protect the citizens of Columbia, or to better protect the citizens of Indianapolis, or to better protect the citizens of San Diego Metro proper. However you want to put it, we have this template ready to go. and we will send it out on behalf of you from ShieldIQ. And
Okay.
we're a ShieldIQ rep is available to discuss with you. And also, by the way, if you are a company owner and you're willing to go on TV or radio, we'll put that in there too. If you want to put that on us, no problem. But we will send a press release to up to 30 entities in your locality.
Very nice.
Also, we will give you a PDF with our branding on it, on our letterhead, that is ready for you to send out to banks or credit unions. We'll also give you the email template too, depending on how you want to do this. But it announces your partnership with ShieldIQ. And basically, hey, we know that you as a financial institution, you're encountering people who are breached all the time. Where do you send them? Well, now you have a place. Now you have a place, because not only can we clean up their computers, or not only could we take a look at their network or address any security concerns they have, even if they don't have it, they just want to know more or know that they're safe, but we can offer identity theft protection too. It's an all-in-one, one-stop shop for people that come into your bank thinking, oh my gosh, is this email real? Did my Norton really just renew for $700 for a year?
I hope not.
or why am I locked out of my account saying that my credit is locked, or why my password has changed when I didn't change it? They get that all the time. We still get about one referral every 2 weeks from banks and credit unions. So also that qualifies you to be in the technology partner network. Again, and my attorney is finalizing the language, and we want to be able to just put you through a process, have you upload proof of insurance, and make the qualification relatively easy, but just make sure that you're not just some Johnny on the spot. There's nothing wrong with trunk slamming, but as long as you're doing it right, you know what I mean?
We all started there, right?
Right, exactly. So that gives you an idea of what the initial offering. And again, this is affiliate. This is the affiliate model, and that's what we're leading out of the gate with. There's more coming, and that includes marketing services. Very, very soon, we're going to have blog posts, monthly video commercials around an identity theft issue we're offering, probably co-branded, optional social media posting on your behalf, along with some other things. Those offerings are yet to be crystallized. Pricing is yet to be determined, but that's coming. And that's something that you can take advantage of if you want it. Also, platform specific, there's going to be a mobile app for end users coming, ideally by the end of Q2. We are working on an add-on to add the email breach check functionality to your landing pages. And if you want directly onto your own website, it's the haveibeenpwned.com functionality, but it's running through ShieldIQ's databases and can, immediately lead to a sale. I will tell you, Scott, that one thing that we do with consumers that approach us still, for break fix stuff, if we're on a remote with them, the help desk will say, hey, while I've got you, and while we're troubleshooting the problem, or now that we have your problem fixed, would you like me to run a check on your email address across the dark web?
Great time.
And they'll do that. And 50% of the time, even if this client's never, worked with us before, they'll like, well, yeah, I'll do your $9 plan. That's scary. That's worth it. So it leads right into a sale. Two-factor authentication is coming to the platform by February. That should say 2022. Sorry, I knew I'd make a mistake in the slide.
That's okay.
But ideally sooner than that. But I know by February 1st. And then, like I mentioned, full co-branding and white label options with better bulk pricing, where it is the reseller model. You're buying the licenses, and you can sell them however they want. If you want to sell them direct, go to town. If you want to bundle them into an IT service offering, which I highly recommend, then that's a differentiator. And also, the ability to purchase bulk at discount. I can tell you that, again, going back and without disclosing too much, if you wanted to roll your own solution, so to speak, you're going to be thousands and thousands of dollars out of the gate in the beginning. And what we want to do is, Scott, you come to me and you're like, hey man, I've got a 300 seat opportunity. I want to be able to give these guys something, in the form of identity theft protection, maybe the $9 level plan customized for my company. What kind of price point can you help me with? Let's talk. Also, the API where we can integrate with third-party SaaS applications and software, that is coming in late Q1 or Q2, where maybe there's a vendor, maybe there's a service that's a really good match to be able to just spin up licenses, to like you've got an offering where you're configuring, I don't know, like training, maybe user training or some sort of other offering. Maybe you want to include, like you've got a company of 6, you want to include 6 licenses for identity theft protection. You just check that box, boom, it will procure them from us. And then you can deploy it straight to your customer. Again, there's a lot here. I'm flying through now, and again, we built out ShieldIQ. Our first generation is the affiliate network, the affiliate model, which I showed you before. Really easy to join. It's really easy for us to spin up and get you active. We can typically get it done within a week. From the time we get your request, you get a week. My attorney is hammering out the last stages of the affiliate agreement. Like I said, all that is finalized this week. We're going live Monday. Hell or high water, we are going live Monday. And it's not because we're not ready. I mean, the platform, that's been the biggest part of the work for the past 2.5 years. It's what I'm doing right now, obviously, with slide decks and stuff. I got a little refining to do. Generation 2 is, again, better pricing, the ability to customize the messaging from the platform. That's another thing. And I didn't get to that today, but the alert emails, they come with a particular branding. And the ShieldIQ branding, that can be with higher levels, that can be co-branded. That can have your messaging on it. That can direct the client to call you if you want, instead of the 24/7 call center. Some people may want that, some people may not, but it's there. One size does not fit all. We're not going to force feed the solution into everybody. We're going to have some standardization, but we can get very creative with how we leverage this. White label solutions, the bigger MSPs, maybe you want that. Maybe you bring the clout and the street credibility to take this to your customers, and you get that better pricing without paying the thousands in minimums. And we work to, we create something for you in that regard. You would have the ability to customize all the messaging, all the content, including every bit of content you saw in that end user portal. That can be yours. That can be your company. That can be your social media links at the bottom of it. So
very nice.
That's all coming. Generation 3, which should be here in Q2 of 2022. That's the downstream channel. That's again where, hey, you have a client that's interested in offering this service to their employees, their customers, their members, their association, homeowners association. Think about maybe you do the IT for Dell Web, the home development. Oh my gosh. Think about getting this product into something like that, where you've got the opportunity to get thousands or tens of thousands of seats, and you're getting recurring revenue on every one of them.
That's beautiful.
You bring us the opportunity. All you got to do is get our foot in the door. And if we close it, and that can be with your help or not, then we carve a piece of that revenue for you. And you're not doing a thing. You're back to mailbox money. And then of course the API, like I mentioned before. The affiliate one offering, the affiliate generation one is better for the smaller shops. I've kind of been on that. The reseller offerings, which are coming, are better for the small, mid-size, and larger MSPs that want to better control their branding. Again, we're not offering that yet. We want to get the affiliates spun up first. We want to get some traction, but this is all coming. And somehow we made it through that deck. Anyway, yeah. And so if you go to ShieldIQ.com, it will redirect to our landing page where anybody can fill out the form. You can go ahead and just sign up. We will get back to you ASAP, put you on the list of affiliates, get you rocking and rolling here as soon as next week, where you can go to town with your landing page and everything else. I know that we're close to being out of time. I know that Sean McCormick was supposed to be on the call. Scott has had the product for a while. Sean has been beta testing the product. I don't know if he's still here, but Scott, feel free. I don't know your opinion of it so far, or what your experience has been.
So I haven't resold it. I've only been, a test guinea pig, if you will.
Yes, you've been a very gracious one.
But I have learned a lot about my community. Those sex alerts are, like I said, they are scary. The sexual predator alerts. But it's very comforting to know that a product like this exists, that we can actually open up a new opportunity for more recurring revenue, an additional recurring revenue stream than we already have. I mean, as you were telling us all this, going through today, the wheels were spinning in my head. You talked about homeowners associations. We have a homeowners association all the time. There's a ton of people that go there. Somebody says, "Hey, Scott, what do you do?" Well, we run an IT service company. We also offer credit monitoring services, and there you go. There's the door open right there. So I embrace this. I welcome this, because there's nothing, to my knowledge, in the IT channel currently that is offering this opportunity, and that's exactly what I'll call it, an opportunity.
Yeah, and just showcasing the website and showcasing the videos on it doesn't really do it justice, because really down the road, when we're able to offer the downstream offering and the reseller offering at the better pricing, where you're truly just buying it from us, you're charging the client, this can be configured endless ways. So again, we're going out of the gate with ShieldIQ, the website and the affiliate program. We want to get as many people on that as we can, and then we're going to get real creative, and we're going to be very, very active in promoting the new stuff we have as it comes.
Good deal. Well, I am excited with what you guys have been doing, what you guys are gonna do. I'm embracing it. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, like I said, man, it's been a long road to get here. Thank you so much for being one of our guinea pigs. Thank you for talking to me about this as far back as February of this year, when it was still kind of coalescing. Thank you to the guys on the call that have been beta testing and have been so gracious and proactive in helping us get this off the ground.
No problem. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to go over and explain ShieldIQ to us. I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
Good night.
Oh, one last question.
Yes.
We all hang up. What's the best way that they can get in touch with you if they are interested in learning more about ShieldIQ?
Keep it simple. Go to ShieldIQ.com. They can either go to ShieldIQ.com or go to Shield-IQ.com. It does not matter. It takes you to the same landing page. Fill out the form, and we'll get right back to you. That's the easiest way.
Sounds great. And you also have one for ITBOG users. They can go to ShieldIQ.com/ITBOG, right?
Yep. Leads to the customized one. Send them over.
Sounds great. Well, I hope everybody has a great day, and I appreciate your time today. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.